If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Okay, so look, Young Thug is dropping this week. I don't know why, but for some reason, the hype hasn't really started building up yet. I looked at the calendar and I was like, yo, this Friday is the 15th, and we know that on the 15th, Young Thug is dropping his new album, Punk, which he has been teasing for a long time now. He's been talking about that in several interviews over the past year. I think he first announced that he was going to drop this back in 2019, and then he said, spoke of a release date of like October 2019. Of course, it then didn't drop. 2019 was also the year that So Much Fun dropped, his last full-length studio solo effort. In the meantime, he has, of course, dropped Slam Language 2 together with his YSL crew, which was definitely a step up in terms of seriousness for the whole YSL roster. To me, it was very tedious to listen through just because some of the tracks were pretty boring and replaceable, but that's a whole nother topic. I made so many videos on Slam Language 2 when they dropped, but today I wanted to go over everything that we know so far about this new album, Punk, by Young Thug, dropping this Friday. So let's jump straight into it. So as I said, the history of Punk goes back a long time. He talked about it in 2019, then he talked about it in 2020 on T.I.'s Expeditiously podcast, where he also said that, he's going to drop Slam Language 2, and then after that, he's going to drop Punk. This is also how it now came to be, and this is what the situation we're in right now, because he is about to drop this on October 15th. How we know this is through a couple of different indicators. First of all, probably the best source that we have for information on this thing right now, kind of unconventional, but that NPR Tiny Desk concert that he gave back in July is, first of all, one of the best Tiny Desk performances that I've ever seen. So if you haven't, checked out that performance yet, I definitely recommend you go do that, because Thugger absolutely killed it. He played, I think, 4 new tracks from Punk that are going to be on there. We got Die Slow, then Droppin' Jewels, Blame the Game, I think it was called, or Hate the Game, and then TikTok, which was also a single that he then afterwards released. I think in August, it also got a music video. That is so far the lead single to Punk. It is also, the track that I like the least off of those 4 new tracks that we heard during this performance, just because it sounds so much like, that ski track with Gunna from Slam Language 2 that is just made to be like a TikTok song. This, no pun intended, but this TikTok song is also in the same lane as that. But when you look at the other tracks, especially like, Die Slow or Hate the Game, I think it's called, those are some different tracks. Thugger is like actually singing on a more mellow beat on here. It's not just some, trap sounds with him making noises on there. That's just his style. I know, and I'm not against that. I love Thugger. He has been one of the most influential people, especially for trap, coming out of Atlanta. But I think on this new album, he's gonna really take us on like a more personal journey into his life, into his head, because those tracks are definitely more, sentimental and emotional, something that we haven't really heard from him that much in the past. And that's why I hope that this new album is also gonna be like those 3 other tracks that we've heard aside from TikTok. So 4 new tracks that you can go listen to right now that we know so far that are going to be on here, and then also that TikTok single that also, it's official single now and got a video and all that, so you probably heard that one. But also during this concert, he was wearing this shirt, and throughout the whole, performance, at one point he turns around and on the back, we can see basically, I'm not sure if this is the official cover art. We're still going to have to wait on confirmation for that. But it says Punk and then October 15th, 21. So 2021, this year. And then, back then when I made a video on that, I was looking, at the calendar, was like, yo, the 15th is a Friday, this Friday. So that's probably when he's going to drop it. And that is the first time that we ever heard about this thing dropping on October 15th. He later on also, took to Instagram, social media to confirm this with a couple of posts that all confirmed that Punk is actually dropping this Friday on October 15th. So that's how we know that. An interesting thing that I also want to mention, also that you can see from this cover art, is that the I in the word punk is just like, it's not there. It's replaced by a star. And I think that is just a hint towards, the fact that you could also interpret this as Pink, for example. That is a reference to him performing, the songs, also TikTok, at Rolling Loud this summer, wearing all pink. So he somewhat wants to bring this concept of pink into punk. So that's just something to think about, something that I noticed, because why else would he, kind of censor out the I or the U in the word punk? My bad, the U is in the word punk, not I is in pink. But somehow there's a connection between the two. It's just unclear how he wants to, incorporate that. Leading up to this release, I just mentioned we had so much fun 2 years ago, which a lot of people praised as Thugger's best solo work. I also thought it was just the most, concise and to the point project. Of course, there are some flaws. I don't love it. It's just, it's a really good album. I thought, for example, before that, Jeffrey was also a really impressive record from him, breaking a lot of boundaries. Thugger, as I said, has been one of the most influential figures in modern hip-hop, establishing that sound that you hear nowadays everywhere. And back when he was, coming up, nobody has heard anything like that before, and that was really something new that he helped innovate. So Thugger is very important and essential to hip-hop as we know today, not to mention that he also, he put Gunna and Lil Baby on the map, so we gotta thank him for that. Maybe a little bit more for Lil Baby than Gunna, but still, they're here, and that's why I hope this album is gonna be very important as well. He heard from the singles that we played on the Tiny Desk concert that maybe he's gonna change it up a little bit, get a little more personal in the songs, maybe have some other genres blending in. We've heard him talk about blending indie rock, for example, or rock generally, something that he's done before. For example, Beautiful Thugger Girls was also an album like that, but I hope that again on this new album he doesn't just make an album like So Much Fun that is just bound to be successful because it has all the characteristics of a Young Thug album that will make it successful, but it's rather something that he's like, he cares about and that he wants to do. That's something that I always hope artists do with their new releases, and I think Thugger's in a position where he's just now, kind of experimenting around with music, wanting to leave a legacy that can expand and have like a long leg further on into his career and into hip-hop in general. So Punk, Pink, Young Thug, dropping this Friday, October 15th. We know some of the tracks. Go listen to them in Tiny Desk concert. We know the cover art maybe because that is the shirt that he was wearing. We don't know if that's official yet. We got to wait for more information. We also got to wait on a track list, on any more stuff. But that's what we know so far this Friday. I'm hyped, but now I want to know what you think about this. Are you hyped for this? How did you like that Tiny Desk concert? What did you think of the TikTok single? What was your favorite single from the ones we've heard so far? All of that, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.